morning, good afternoon, good
Good
evening,
afternoon.
wherever you are in any part of the world. We are live again on Radio Works, and this is Every Woman Dreams Show. Like every Monday, it's a beautiful Monday again. I bring to you wonderful and amazing women from across the globe who are making impacts in grassroots communities, in their own space, in the corporate environment, and what have you. And today we are discussing peace and security, as well as discussing gender based violence. We have a young woman who's dedicated her life to promoting peace across Africa. Peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peace means. And this was a statement made by Ronald Reagan. Today, my guest is Rosemary Yaa Dufie. She has promoted gender peace and security in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire for over 8 years and has supported leading programs that has enhanced the participation of women in leadership and peace building through platforms such as the annual West African Women Policy Forum and the West African Women Election Observing Team. She has enhanced and transformated over 5,000 young girls in West Africa, including Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Ghana. Now, that's a great young woman there. Welcome to my show today, Rosemary.
Thank you very much.
Whoa, your profile is so amazing. I don't need to continue that. Let's have a discussion. Welcome
Thank
once
you.
again to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, before we delve into your work in promoting peace and security, take us a walk back through your life as a child. What was the most significant experience growing up as a child?
Growing up as a child, there was nothing like an understanding of patriarchy and all these discrimination. It
Yeah.
was just me and my siblings. And in my family, we have a lot of boys. I have two brothers, and then my cousins, most of them boys. I was fortunate to come from a home that we did everything equally. So boys will cook
Oh, great.
and girls will cook. And so
One of
we all
the
did the cleaning.
homes.
It's just with my father who
Okay.
one day when I finished senior higher education and I wanted to go to Accra, the capital, and just
Okay.
explore, find myself a work, just go to school. Then he told me, no, 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 you have to stay back in Kumasi where I'm from.
Okay.
You are a girl, you wouldn't be safe. At the same
Mm.
time, my brother had been staying in Takoradi, the western region of Ghana,
Okay.
and was doing well. But I wasn't allowed to go because I'm a girl.
Okay.
So I'm breaking that and being able to come to Accra to find myself an internship and later on what has brought me to this far. It was like my first I'm a tomboy. Like
Okay.
Rosemary will get whatever she wants. She's
Right.
just hard. So that's how I was and I among my siblings. I was always a tomboy. So
All right.
now it tells me how patriarchy, and how culture discrimination from, doing what we have to do, doing, bringing out the strength in us as women equally as men, equally so that is the nice experience I got, understanding
Okay.
patriarchy
Okay.
and the
But did
cultures.
you find that as a discriminatory approach, or did you just find that as his concern towards your security?
Um, Now that I understand the issues, both to
Okay.
some extent, it
All
was really against me because I was intelligent, I was equally strong. I
right.
came to act myself. And security as well, it was a threat to me because at a point my dad just decided some of my relatives in Accra to
Yeah.
deprive me of comfort. So my uncles whom I could go and stay denied me. Those
Mm.
people I could call monetary support also denied me. Not knowing they
Oh,
had collided with my dad to just deprive me of certain privileges so I
so you,
can go back home
yeah,
and
of course, you wanted to.
yes, and anything could have happened to me. I could have taken a
Mm.
boyfriend who would just have sex with me and give me 100 Ghana cedis for my
Mm.
upkeep. Yeah,
Okay.
so it was a yeah.
Okay, so coming from that experience, and you as a gender and security advocate, and you've worked in some part of Africa, what would you say is the most significant threat to women's security in Africa?
And also girls, I would say violence against women and girls.
Okay,
I will also the cultural norms and practices,
all right.
and also the implementation of laws and policies that are protecting women and girls' rights,
Okay,
proper coordination and functioning of available. So, violence against women or girls, we can talk about domestic violence
all
at
right.
home. Some of that children have witnessed between their mom and dad.
Okay,
A home that is not stable always expose children to violence.
right,
Whatever they hear, whatever else to listen, whatever they say to their mother or fathers, incestuous relations involving young girls as victims or survivors is key.
right.
You see, uncles. I have witnessed one of the young girl that became a peer educator
Okay.
who used to be a victim of her guardian's husband advances, sexual advances towards her.
Oh my.
He was sleeping with her every night. And when this
Whoa.
girl became a peer educator and now was able to defend herself, he moved to the younger sister who was like 8 years old. And so,
Gosh.
thanks to education, this girl was able to
Yeah.
intervene and report. So, you see how
Okay.
young girls experience so
Yeah.
many abuses in the home. So, incestuous relationship is one of the threats.
Mm.
To talk of cultural norms and practices, there is a lot of discrimination towards girls due to norms and traditions. There was a community in Ghana, in the Volta region of Ghana,
Yeah.
in Cote, where there is this norm of exchange marriage,
Okay.
which expose young girls to a lot of threats. So exchange marriage is where when your brother is going to marry, the home that your brother is marrying from, you the girl are given to the family as an exchange to be kept.
Wow.
So your education,
And
your
everything is
protection
curtailed.
it is just sidelined, is just thrown away. So the
Mm.
girl actually do not have protection from the father, from the mother, because at the end of the day you will be given away as a collateral, like
Yeah.
an exchange for
So
your
are
father's
these
money.
things still happening, or are they just issues that are happening underground and not so significant? With your work on grassroots, how informative are you on these happenings?
Okay, so a lot have been done through our interventions. We've been able
Okay.
to get some of these young people to be aware of some of the issues of gender based violence, also with community engagement, educating community members and parents about some of the dangers that they will put their children into. It has
Okay.
reduced. On
All
the
right.
surface, you wouldn't see them, but
Mm.
underground,
Yeah, there might
some
be
of
a
them
few
are
more
going
cases.
on. Yes.
Okay.
And
So,
some people do not
mhm,
have the information to
okay.
also refrain from such practices.
All right. So
Yeah.
what are the methods that you use? How are these girls that you train able to report such cases? And I want you to take us away from Ghana, perhaps to some of the other African countries, in dealing with, yeah, back to peace and security. How are these information accepted? What are the methods and the approach you use in dealing with this?
Okay, so some of the things we did were to enhance research, to identify specific issues in a given community, for instance, in Sierra Leone and in Liberia. And
Okay.
so, through the findings of the research, we were able to develop the project and enhance training, capacity building on gender based violence, capacity
Mm.
building on peace, leadership, security. And so one of the approach was community march, where
Okay.
we had state agencies, personnel of state agencies, women personnel in the security,
All
like the
right.
armed forces. So we had defense people in the military, the Air Force, to
Okay.
come and march with young students to also at the end of the day have a dialogue. So we did community march, security and young women marching together, seeing them in the uniforms and dialoguing to
Okay.
understand the system that is not only for men, but girls can also be part of security and even be great. We
Okay.
also had intergenerational dialogue where we had older women and then young women, girls to dialogue and see where gaps are so that they will be able to take up from where the gaps are and also bridge the gap and also some of the challenges. One of the things that we did was the platform of our West African um, um, Policy Forum,
Okay.
West African Women's Policy Forum. So every year at Wipson Africa, my former organization, we
Mm-hmm.
mobilize women from different African countries to come and discuss pertinent issues concerning women in Africa and how we can advance together. So it was a great platform to see where we were, what
Mm.
were working, and what were not working.
Okay.
So,
Can you
yeah.
share, yeah, some of the community that has come out of the forum, the annual forum that you've had?
So one of the biggest outcome of the annual West African Women's Policy Forum was the West African Women Election Observation Team. So
Okay.
we realized that issues of gender were not critically analyzed during elections, how
Mm.
women are impacted with some uprisings during elections.
Elections.
So
Okay.
this was one of a kind, only women election observation team in West Africa,
All
and we
right.
were able to observe elections in Liberia, the 2011 that led to Her Excellency
Yeah.
Ellen Johnson Sirleaf,
Yeah.
in also Sierra Leone and in
Mm.
Ghana. Yes,
Great.
in terms of peace and security, I can also talk about our engagement with the Sierra Leone Armed Forces that led to
Okay.
the appointment of the only female Brigadier General of the defense.
Wow.
She was the
Wow.
first Brigadier General, a female, to be elected for the Ministry of Defense in the Armed
Wow.
Forces of Sierra Leone. There was the establishment of gender units in the defense system in all the departments of their counties.
And
So this
that was specifically to address issues affecting um girls and women, I guess.
issues affecting women in the security sector,
Okay.
uh, issues of maternity leaves, issues of training,
All
the
right.
type of training, their system, and
Mm.
how ineffective it was to helping women advance in the security sector. So
Okay.
our engagements were able to support women personnel in the security sector, the armed forces. Yes.
Mm. Okay. Yes.
So yeah, yeah.
All right. So, in all of your engagement, of course, we can't rule out the fact it's very clear that in your work with peace and security and promoting peace in part of the African countries that you have mentioned, we definitely can rule out the impact that it has on women and girls being the most vulnerable.
Mm.
In your engagement, as you advance peace and security. How inclusive have been men and boys in your work?
Men and boys are largely included in the peace and security work
Okay,
because it takes for them to also understand so that they can hand in hand work with the women. Other than that,
precisely,
we were doing a half work.
exactly.
So I can we I will share with you how our training on peace, leadership, gender based violence yielded the establishment of gender clubs in school for both
Okay,
boys and girls, and also peace clubs in schools, in senior high schools, and also in
awesome.
public
Can you
high.
share some of the countries you've had this, and
Okay,
perhaps
so
the communities? Yeah.
yes, in Liberia we had clubs in schools, and one
Okay.
of the outcome of our project with young girls, the Young Girls Transformative Leadership Project, was the establishment of
All
youth
right.
parliament, which one of our girl became the president, the speaker of parliament, and was
Okay.
doing. Yeah, so this
Awesome.
parliament involved both boys and girls to talk about pertinent issues
Okay.
disturbing young people in the community. And also in Ghana, we have our combat community-based action team structure,
Okay.
which is involving both men and women,
Hmm.
and they are promoting sensitization and also awareness creation, counseling for traumatized people who have gone through violence. And
Okay.
so they are helping to keep our projects sustainable in the community as we live. We have peer
Okay.
educators labs, peer educators whom we train, young people that we have trained, both boys and girls, to become peer educators and continue with sensitization, awareness raising in their communities and schools, so that people will be informed in their communities and some of these actions, negative practices perpetrated against them can be reduced. So
Okay.
this is how we involve men
Men
and women.
and boys. This is
Yes,
great.
boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome because it's once you bring everybody together and everyone feels ownership of the projects and
Yes.
activities that you're doing, then you make more impact and everybody feels a part of it. Okay, so let's move
Yes.
down quickly to your current work in ensuring that you prevent violence, most especially sexual violence against adolescents. So I believe that includes both boys and girls. Um, can you share with us some of the strategies and tools perhaps you use in this work?
So in 2016, we conducted a mobile-based survey.
Okay.
So we have partnered with VMO, now VMO. They used to be Voto Mobile.
All
And so
right.
we established an online system of research where we identified that in Ghana, about 37% males and 56% females have
Mm.
experienced a form of sexual violence during their schooling ages. And the
Mm.
findings identified that among these cases, most were perpetrated at the primary and junior high school level. And
Oh
so it
wow.
was really a huge
Yeah,
thing
this is.
to,
Mm.
develop our project, which is cell phones against sexual violence
Okay.
using mobile phone technology to promote safer school. So one
So
of
how?
the
Okay. Mm-hmm.
is the mobile phone. We have established a hotline center, a sexual
Okay.
and reproductive health hotline center in Accra, Ghana here.
All right.
And in 40 schools in 5 districts,
Okay.
we have given mobile phones to the schools, one mobile phone, so 40 mobile phones, where young people, students, and teachers can call the hotline center without
Okay.
charges to be informed about sexual violence and reproductive health issues, and also report cases of
All right.
sexual violence that are perpetrated against them. And what we
Okay.
do is that we link them to appropriate state agencies and departments,
Okay.
counselors, the DOVSU, that is the Domestic Violence and Victim
Yeah.
Support
Support
Unit,
unit.
social welfare, and then the health services so that they can get proper responses. So we do
Okay.
referrals through our hotline system. We also have used information, education, communication materials,
Okay.
posters, flyers that we also give out and post in the rural areas. They
All
are
right.
good with pictures. When you use pictures, they can relate to the stories
More.
than
That's
more of
true.
talking. Yes. We have also been doing community sensitization on some of the issues of parental irresponsibility, violence against women and
Parental
girls, so
neglect.
that
Mm.
yes, the community and other stakeholders can understand. We
Okay.
have the concept of peer educators, the combat, that is the community based action team,
Okay.
where we have community people who are taking up counseling activities, who are
All
also
right.
doing sensitization and awareness creation because of training that they have received from us.
Okay.
Mentorship, radio awareness, and TV programs. And then we have interagency engagement, where today we have in our project areas an interagency protocol that has been established to respond to gender based violence cases.
Mm.
So we use a lot of strategies and
Okay.
tools. They are working.
Okay.
We are,
In a bit, I would like to share the hotline so other people, listeners, listen to us could also benefit, and other people who would wish to report any such cases and equally follow the hotline and do report. Can
yeah.
you, in this engagement with the children as well as the parents and the teachers, this is a very awesome initiative, trying to bring everybody all on board so
Yeah.
they can promote the safety and well-being of these adolescents. How? What are some of the significant stories, or what are some of the impact or the ability to avoid such cases or even report such cases? What are some of the stories that these young people have reported to you? Could you just a
Yes.
few of them?
Yeah. I'll share one story from a situation in Ghana. So
Okay.
there was this girl who was born, and then a man brought firewood
Mm-hmm.
to bless the father. And out of gratitude, the father betrothed the girl to this man who brought the firewood.
Oh my
So,
God.
in our engagements in the community of Nkwanta South, this
Okay.
girl was now 11 years old, and the man who brought the firewood had come to get the girl for marriage because she was betrothed to him.
Oh my.
And because of this intervention of our Girls Transformative Leadership Program, the
Okay.
girl was now well informed, educated,
Mm.
and had become a peer educator. So she
Okay.
was able to stand her ground. She was able to report the case to the school's guidance and counseling officer. The case
Okay.
was brought to us, and today the girl was able to complete her school. She's now in the tertiary institution. The
Mm.
marriage didn't come on, and the family are well informed about gender based violence issues, and also the fact that they
This
were
is a
taking.
beautiful success story.
Yes, yes. So this is
Yeah.
one of the story that we have, and we
Okay.
also have this WAWEO that I was talking about, the
Yes.
female election observation team. We have the first female brigadier general in Sierra Leone, who used to be
Mm.
in the Ministry of Defense and
Okay.
the on armed forces. A lot are also going on. We have peer educators intervention helping young girls to be now assertive to report cases because they
Cases.
weren't reporting, especially sexual violence in their homes. They were
Okay. Yeah.
afraid. To some extent, they were scared because they felt guilty due to some
Yeah.
of the favors that they had
And
received from the
they're mostly actually intimidated not to speak.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. They are called witches because they
Mm.
are going to tarnish the image of the family and all
Family.
that. So the reporting were very limited, but now cases are being reported by
Okay.
students, and also assertive level has gone high.
Okay.
Girls are now well informed
Mm.
because of our hotline system and also the peer sensitization in school. The
Okay.
gender club is also helping a lot of young people to now
Okay.
be well informed to avoid engagement in intimate relationship, sexual relationship with
Okay.
at the young age. And so teenage pregnancy in some of our schools have reduced. There were
All right.
cases where last year in 2017, before the children wrote their final exams,
Yeah.
the school had 6 girls that were pregnant, and among the 6 girls, 3 of the girls were impregnated by some of the students in the school.
Whoa.
When we went there this year, that was in April, we
Yeah.
realized that there is no case in that school. Some of the schools were also nicknamed School of Sex, all
Mm.
because of the, yes, because they were engaged
Mm.
in that more practices. But
Yeah.
now a lot of the students have refrained from sexual relationship at this young
Wow.
age. Teachers
Yeah.
who were found in relationship, intimate
For the
relationship with some
students.
of the girls and the students in school have also stopped because the students are now reporting.
Okay.
There's this incident of um, incestuous relationship is also going down. Now,
Mm.
parents and students, parents, children communication is also increasing in their homes. Some of these students told us they were involved in these sexual relationship with boys because parents refused to give them money for school,
Mm.
hiding behind poverty and all
Yeah.
that, and even pushing them to engage in these relationships because they
Yeah.
got some benefits. They got money. The boy will come to the house and a bag of rice, 5 kilograms of rice
Mm.
is in his hand to the mother. So she would just keep quiet and allow the
Yeah.
girl to indulge in such
Very
acts.
sad. Yeah.
But it has
Thank you
now
for
reduced.
being
So
there to
such
support
girls are
this.
now going to school. Yes. Yes. So
Mm.
these
Thank
are
you
just a
for your
few
work.
that I talk about.
Yeah, thank you for your work to supporting these young people. Let me take you one quick step back. In engagement in these schools that you have adopted, are they girls' schools, or if they are mixed schools, how then do the boys feel a part of the whole project?
Can you please say that again? I didn't get the last part.
Okay. All right. So engaging in these schools, in these community schools that you're rolling the peer education, and
Yeah.
with all the beautiful impacts that we are seeing, considering that there is a decrease in the number of pregnancies amongst the students, there are decreases in sexual engagement because the young girls are more aware and informed about their body and their reproductive health.
Yeah.
My concern is, I am asking that these schools, are they just girls schools, or are they mixed schools where there are boys and girls? And if they are boys and girls, how then do the boys feel a part of these projects? Do they feel sidelined, or are you engaging the boys as well?
Okay, so all the schools are mixed schools,
Okay.
and all the boys feel so much involved. Our peer educators, so in the Ghana system of education, they have different clubs. They have girls only clubs, and
Yeah.
they also have other clubs. But when
Okay.
we went with our intervention, we introduced the gender club, and the gender
Okay.
club is for both boys and girls.
All
So
right.
it's great opportunity for boys to also feel involved,
And
unlike
also
the
share.
girls' club in the school. And the
Okay.
boys also become peer educators, and they also sensitize alongside with the girls, their peers
Okay.
and colleagues in school about the negative effects of gender
Yeah,
based violence.
because increasingly we hear cases of boys being sodomized, and so it's very important that we draw their attention, we make them aware of such abuses against them as well. All
Yes.
right. I know that with all the beautiful work that you're doing, there are definitely a few of challenges that you may face, either be policy challenges, dealing
Mhm.
with state protocol issues, and what have you. What are some of the main challenges, the very difficult ones that make your work a bit tough for you?
When breaking norms in our work that we do as activists in general, it's not an easy task.
Okay.
For a community to have the buy-in, you have to really go down to understand them, and
Right.
also let them know that you are not here to judge them, to let them
Mm-hmm.
feel bad of whatever they are doing, but you are here to let them know that there are laws, there are policies, and they could be found guilty of such actions that they take. And so
Right.
one of the difficulties we have had is engagement with stakeholders in the community, like the chiefs,
Okay.
the community leaders, because these community leaders are the forefront when it comes to the cultural practices and these norms. And
Okay.
so, for you to win their attention and for you to tell them about some of the practices that they have engaged and it's not helping the society, you have to really, really go down and do a lot of work. You have to show evidence, and that's the more reason that we do research, have a baseline,
For
and show
yeah.
data, educate them about what is happening, and it's not that we have come. We
Okay.
also can talk about poor implementation of some of these laws and policies in the
Okay.
country. Our Domestic Violence Act, the Children's Rights Act, and
Right.
the Child Protection Policy in our
Mm.
country. So there are systems in place, but how well it has gone down to the
Also
society, to
another challenge.
rural
Mm.
women, is a challenge. It's a
Yeah.
challenge. There are instances where you engage people perpetrating cases and they will tell you, we didn't know, we have
Yeah.
no idea, but the law
Mm.
does not make you go
It's
free
not
whether you know or not.
of
And
course.
so implementation of these laws are very key, and we have limited implementation. It's so poor. we have
Okay.
uh, we also have poor coordination among state agencies that are working to eliminate violence against women, and also ensure peace in the society.
Yeah.
Cases that will go to, for instance, the police, the Department of DOFSU,
Yeah.
in terms of referring the case to maybe the hospital for the victim to be checked, and also proper report giving, is a challenge. The
Okay.
time and the space at which the case has to be referred, you find cases still laying in the hands of DOFSU, whilst it has to migrate to maybe the social welfare for
Yeah.
some level of education to come.
Come in.
So the coordination or collaboration among state agencies working on gender-based violence and the promotion of peace is poor, and
Okay.
that some of the challenges that we face in our work, because you still don't see yourself moving forward, although you
Right.
have done a lot of education
Yeah, but
and
we wish. Yeah. I mean, we could have made more impact if all of
yes,
systems were working perfectly.
exactly,
Right.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. We have limited available shelters within the
Mm-hmm.
social welfare department, where there
Yeah.
should be temporary shelters for victims, for
Right.
survivors to be taken care of for a short while
Sometimes
while the
they
person
are prone
goes
to
through.
go back into the issue again.
Yes, and so there is no sense of
Mm.
security for the victim, or
Right.
the survivor, when the person goes back home. A child being maltreated by parents. How do
Yeah.
you handle this if you don't have temporary shelters to keep the
Yeah.
child for a while, whilst you have
Mhm.
a short education with the parents?
Yeah. Ensure
There
that.
is nothing to ensure that the girl will be safe while she goes back. So these are
Right.
some of the challenges that we have faced, and that
I
puts
mean,
people at risk and expose
we
them to.
appreciate your work. I mean, despite all of these challenges, you're still making great impact in promoting peace and security, and as well as avoiding violence end sexual abuse against adolescents. Great work to you,
Thank you.
Rosemary, and your team.
Thank
Finally, I would like you to share the hotline you have, emails, numbers, so young people listening to us would be able to contact you. Activists working would be able to contact you to see how they could better collaborate with your outfit and then better impact in a
you.
larger community.
Sure, sure. So it's a sexual and reproductive health hotline center, and it's
Okay.
solely for information and also direction as to what to do when you find yourself violated or you find yourself in any difficult situation in terms of
Right.
security and violence against women and violence. So it's 056
Okay.
111
Okay.
3121.
Okay.
Zero
Can you take
five
that
six
again, please?
Yes, 056 111 3121. It's toll
Okay.
free, and we have five languages that the operators speak. So
Okay.
five Ghanaian languages. So
All right.
it's the English language, the Ga, the Ashanti, the Ewe, and the Hausa. So
This is
any of these
excellent.
languages you can speak.
This is great. I mean, this is great. Thank you so much for being a part of impacting and promoting social justice. It's been a great morning. It's been a great evening. It's been a great afternoon from wherever you are in any part of the world. It's another Monday and it's Every Woman Dream Show. As always, I come to you with inspiring and exciting stories from women across the globe. And today, my guest has been Rosemary, who is who's been working for over 8 years in peace and security across part of Africa, in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. It's Every Woman Dream Show every Monday. To be featured on the show, please do send us an email on info@radioworks.world. Info@radioworks.world. Thank you for tuning in and joining me today. Thank you so much for being a part of my show today, Rosemary. And
You're
do
welcome.
enjoy your work. We wish you all the best and be good. Bye
Thank you.
bye for
Bye.
now.
Thank you very much. Bye.